The fact that I am blind doesn't mean that I don't work, doesn't mean that I don't do house chores. I do, and I cook. I'm Mary Mohammed, an indigene of Gombe State from Iliri local government. I'm a student of University of Jos, Faculty of Education from the Department of Special Education and Rehabilitation Science. I'm a 400 level student. The fact that I am blind doesn't mean that I don't work, doesn't mean that I don't do house chores. I do, and I cook. That's what I want to discuss with us. It's very simple. Like the way a normal person cook is the way I cook. For instance, we imagine things, we think before we talk, we think before we start to do anything we want to do. So it's the same thing I operate. The same way a normal person, a sighted person cooks is the same way I cook. This is how I do it. In my kitchen, I know all the position of everything in the kitchen. Where I keep my palm oil, where I keep my vegetable oil, where I keep my Maggi, where my gas cylinder is, where my pots are. I know all the position of everything in the kitchen. So if, for instance, I'm cooking, for instance, 2 cups of rice, white rice, I know the measurements of the 2 cups of white rice I want to cook. So I know the measurement of the water that I will use to parboil it. I feel while cooking, I feel, I touch. For instance, if I want to peel Maggi, like I said, I know all the position of everything in the kitchen. I feel with my hands. I have the sense of touch. I perceive. I use my hands to feel, and I use my perception, my senses to measure everything I would want to measure, and that's how it goes. I first realized I was losing my sight after my secondary school, immediately after my secondary school, and even my parents noticed that. So it was there, and I went to the hospital and I was detected having glaucoma eye problem. So from there, I started treatment of glaucoma, treatment upon treatment. But even while I was still on the treatment, the sight kept going down. So after a while, after some months of treatment, like I said, the sight kept going down. But at long last, even with the treatment, to no avail. At some point, after some months, I totally lost the sight. But even when I lost it, you know that definitely is not easy. I was frustrated, I was depressed, it was heartbroken. But to the glory of God, I thank God, I was able to overcome. And how? I passed through so many things, psychological stress, emotional stress, but like I said, to the glory of God, I didn't allow that to weigh me down. How I did overcome, I could remember some persons with disabilities that I heard their success stories, that I knew while I was still seeing, they were pursuing their career despite their disability. So their success stories became a strength for me. It now pulled me up anytime I remember that they are succeeding, they are striving, even though the disability is still there, but they are still doing it as the so-called normal are doing. So I now picked up courage from them, and I now picked up the challenge, because I told myself that if those persons I heard their stories that have this ability can do it, why can't I be able to do it? So from there, I now picked the courage. Like I told you, now I'm a student of University of Jos. I'm doing, and I'm also an advocate for women and girls with disabilities. So it was from there I now continue a normal life. My greatest strength as at that time was and is still my mom. She was there, she has been there all throughout the journey. My mom has been there. She has been my encouragement. She has been there with me. So she is my strength. My mother became my strength. In all the pains, the hurts, the depression, the emotional stress, the psychological stress, all you can think of. When I lost my sight, my mom is my greatest strength. Perceptions that persons without disabilities often used to have concerning persons with visual impairments, I would just want to discuss few, which is very wrong. Sometimes persons without disabilities think that if a person is visually impaired, it's just like the person is hopeless, it's just like the person is useless, is not useful again. It's just like the person is just there, doesn't have dream, doesn't have vision, cannot even do anything. But it's not like that. Like I told you, I'm a person with visually impairments. I cook myself. I'm a student. So some misconceptions are they think a visually impaired person cannot be able to cook, of which a person with a visually impairment can cook perfectly. Sometimes some have idea that okay, a person with visually impairment can go to school, but some think as if you can only go for special education is wrong. I have so many friends that are visually impaired that I know, and they are just in different angle. For instance, I have friends that are visually impaired. I'm not just saying it's real. I have friends that are visually impaired that are baristas. I have those that works in the bank. I have those that are even physiotherapists. So some misconceptions are like, okay, sometimes some think that if a lady is visually impaired, she cannot marry, she cannot date, she cannot dive into relationship, of which is very wrong. We are human beings and we have same emotions like you have, because we are equally human beings. So sometimes these are some misconceptions. There are times I feel like, no, I can't do it any longer. I can't do it again. For instance, when I got admitted to University of Jos, when I started my 100 level, I didn't find it easy actually. At that 100 level, at that point, I felt like giving up. It's not the only circumstance or situation that I felt like giving up, but I just gave an instance. Sometimes I felt like giving up, but like I told you earlier on, I pick courage from the strength I get from my mom, courage from the success story I always used to hear about persons with or without disabilities, and especially women. So it has not been easy actually, but I thank God. We all are facing different challenges. Like I introduced myself here, being a person with disability, I want to advise us all, whether with disability or not with disability. I just want to advise us to be proud and open up to our identity. I'm not shy, I'm not ashamed of telling anybody that I'm blind. What for? So for you to come up with your dream or your vision to be accomplished, you need to first be proud of yourself and be proud of your identity. Don't hide it. Be proud of who you are. It's very important. Let people take you the way you are. If Mr. A cannot take you the way you are, I'm very sure Mr. B, C